grand reopening of Nanaimo's old train station comes 4 years after a devastating fire almost destroyed the 88-year-old building, owned by Island Corridor Foundation on behalf of the people of Vancouver Island.
The decision with the Island Corridor Foundation was to engage a heritage architect who came over and assessed the building in its post-fire state. They went through, wrote their report, and they were convinced that there was a ton of fabric and original memorabilia that was worth preserving.
To actually put the thing together, there was a dream and a concept of how it could happen, but then you actually need real money. So Via Rail, as the ones that had been leasing the building, technically, came across, and thankfully for that, with what we'd call fire insurance of just under $900,000. In the program that we had, we thought we could probably lease the building to a corporate entity, such as Fibber McGee's, and then develop a commercial mortgage. But to make it all work, we were about $400,000 shy.
We got some room on the stairs here. Please feel free to come down to the stairs.
And that's when the YPN came on board. The Young Professionals of Nanaimo formed in 2009, bringing together like-minded individuals to better themselves professionally as well as the community.
This is our first big project. Nobody had ever heard of Young Professionals of Nanaimo, so at the same time as us raising money for this project, we were also having to get our name out there so that people could actually take us seriously.
And here they were, the Young Professionals of Nanaimo, a really aggressive group of young folks, came to the table and said, we can make that happen.
We decided early on that we wanted to take on a project that was big in scope as well as very local. So nothing's more local than the Nanaimo Train Station, which was sort of what is a big part of Nanaimo's history with the coal mining and all that. So we felt it had a very heritage feel to it, as well as an environmental feel as well, with the train being a great mass transit option. We didn't really think about how big it was.
The YPN surpassed their goal and raised over $400,000 in just 8 months. And with that, the restoration of this historic building began.
We sort of brainstormed on what we would really love to have in the building, and it was that draw, getting people back into the building, making the life back in the building. And the owners of the Fox and Hounds, Trevor and Jane, came forward and said they would like to open an Irish-style restaurant pub. And we went through multiple negotiations with them, with the Island Corridor Foundation, and managed to put a deal together that had them occupy the space.
The idea of the trains running again has always been part of the planning of this restoration project.
That was a big selling point on the fundraising campaign. This was a vote of confidence from the community saying we believe in rail, and rail has potential here in Nanaimo.
So now what do we have? Vancouver Island, the newest heritage train station in Canada. It's really epitomizes the beginning, the rebirth of rail for Vancouver Island. And this is our first step. Next big announcement, hopefully this time next year, we'll have the passenger service running through town here, and we'll have our stations full of people and our trains loaded with passengers.
In Nanaimo, I'm Kelly Robinson.